Hey everyone, hopefully you're having a good day. My name's Andy. My channel is Finding Value. Today we're going to go over our daily technical analysis update of gold and silver. Again, dollar, 10-year yield, the precious metals, and then the companies themselves. Looks like it's a real mixed bag among the miners, just looking at them here off the side of it. But again, I'll give you my financial opinion. Please don't use it as advice. Here we go. So we've got the dollar behind me, just moving sideways in this channel. I do think eventually it will head lower, given the market conditions, but at the moment, we are heading sideways. The 10-year yield, TNX, this guy's been kind of relentlessly moving on higher ever since the 2020 medical event. But we were up today, a slight down movement, so we gapped up in the morning and then came back down a little bit throughout the day. It was still an up day of 0.86% increase. So I think that the interest rates will head higher over time in a stair-stepping fashion, where this is a step, it stair-steps again in that fashion. Looking at gold, up again today, 19 bucks, finishing quite strong. Looking at the 5-day, we're seeing kind of a left to right movement. That's exactly what we want to see, and it's looking quite strong on the daily perspective. We'll see if that momentum can continue. Looking at silver, another strong day in silver. We're right at this kind of resistance support line. We're breaking above it. Everything looks good. Platinum peeking its head out. It's right along its support line down here. That's where I usually like to buy. Actually, I'll probably buy some physical platinum, get an ounce or something. This still could roll over a little bit more. We've got a lot of downward pressure through here, and it's struggling to come back up. So we might kind of stay in this general vicinity, and if we do, I'm going to be picking off some ounces for the holdings. The XAU to gold ratio, this is the mining companies in relationship to gold. We want to see this continually move up in an upward fashion. We're hitting our head on some resistance. We can see that resistance today. That is a bearish engulfing. We might head off back a little bit. We might back off of this resistance line here soon. We're right up on against it. And this big long-term resistance line is this guy right here. So we're just hitting our head on it. We will break through this eventually. Then we'll move on higher. We are still, what this is saying is that we are very early in this bull market. Very early. That's what this is signifying. And I know a lot of people think that we're just going to blow to the moon and all these different commodities, and they're doing that to some degree. But I guess what I'm trying to say is we are so early to this game that we may even have another pullback before the next really big leg higher. So I think we're still very early in all this. Looking at the companies, here's Karora Resources. Look, I'm going to go to the dailies, kind of blow through these guys. KRRGF is the ticker symbol here. Karora is in Australia. It's a gold company. They have some other stuff that they mine. Again, we're right at that resistance area. We're right there trying to break through. But overall, I mean, on the big picture view, we've already broken the big patterns. We're just waiting for, I don't know what we're waiting for. It's going. EXK is broken out of its pattern. It's just chilling, going sideways here, up 0.61%. Still looks good. Fortuna Silver Mines, we're heading a little bit lower here. I know they've had some problems with licenses or renewing their license or something like that. But again, it's in a favorable area right here, so that looks really good. Looking at SilJ, another one, little down day today, even though silver was up. We'll see what happens. Again, I'd just hold on. GDX, another small down day. Looks like it's getting a little bit tired. But again, I wouldn't be doing anything with my shares. Just hold on, guys. Metallic Minerals heading a little bit lower. This is an exploration company. It kind of moves on its own accord on some of these exploration companies. Still looks okay from the long term. Koya Resources moving on higher. This one actually looks pretty good. So that looks good. Discovery Silver down a little bit. I'm hoping that Discovery Silver can pull back quite a bit, because I wouldn't mind buying a little more if it were to pull back. And it looks like it wants to pull back a little bit. We got a bearish engulfing here. right at the support line. So we might actually pull back a little bit. Looks like some of these mining companies almost want to pull back. AG, First Majestic Corp, a little bit of a wicks at the top. Right here, we might see this pull back a little bit. Newmont, getting a little bit of a dark cloud cover. That's where the opening and closing price covers the closing price of the day before. Usually that's a reversal candlestick to go a little bit lower in the short term. Mag Silver, we're still bopping sideways inside of this pattern between the two resistance and support areas. Yamana Gold coming on up, little bit of that dark cloud cover where it opens up, finishes lower, and covers. It's called a piercing pattern as well. So we could head a little bit lower in the short term. So it's a short-term reversal pattern. Impact Silver down a little bit, minus 1.78%. This guy was moving sideways for the most part. Aftermath Silver, this guy's been moving in this channel sideways. This does have the liking of a kind of a booty bottom. Someone sitting down, and we're putting in the other cheek. PLG, Platinum Group Metals, another one that's putting in the bottom of the cheek, so to speak, but just moving sideways. Siboney, Stillwater, I don't really see any movement of either direction. If I were a new buyer, would I choose this chart pattern? No, I don't see a clear direction out of it. I don't see buyers stepping in, just ripping it higher here. What I see is kind of a pullback, and then it's kind of bouncing like it wants to roll over a little bit. Kind of an uneventful looking chart. And Siboney, like, I have nothing against the company, guys, but like this chart, if you look at the entire chart from a long-term perspective, there's nothing screaming a buy here. It's kind of all over the place. We had a nice big move here, and then we have like a pullback. I mean, is this thing going to pull back like that and then move on up? It's tough to say. And they pull back just like I drew it there. Sandstorm Gold, this thing looks a lot better. I like how we've got this U-shaped pattern, and then the handle. That looks pretty good for a move higher. That's the type of pattern that I like seeing. Franco-Nevada is another one I really like, that we're coming up into this pattern that we're going to break and move to the upside. That's one I really like. EMX is another one where they build structures and break structures. Here's your structure. You break it, and then we've got a return move, and then eventually I think we'll move on higher. That's what I like seeing, are these structure breaks. This is a structure that was created here for Tootin and broke the structure. We're creating another structure here that we're breaking. So that's what I like seeing in a lot of the charts, are structures and break, structure and break, like a basing pattern or some sort of pattern that we're breaking. Wheaton Precious Metals also has this pattern, as it's a pattern on top of a pattern that we're breaking to the upside. I like seeing that. We just haven't broken through this yet. We're getting a little bit of resistance, a little sticky icky there. Gold Royalty Corporation is breaking to the upside. It's kind of doing its own thing when it wants to, almost delayed from the other ones. Sometimes that's valuable to know, because sometimes when other things start breaking higher, this one lags behind it. You buy this one, and then boom, it moves on higher. And I'm not saying to buy Gold Royalty at this second. That's up to you. It's not advice. Metallo Royalty, again, we're breaking this pattern. It's sitting kind of in a spot that I like. We might see it pull back a little bit, get a better buying opportunity. We'll see. And what I do there is I just buy more. Mavericks Metals, sitting on top of its pattern. Usually a good spot to be looking at it. Royal Gold, small little down day. Let me take a look at it. It doesn't look too bad. It's a little bloody nose almost. Cisco Gold Royalties just hanging out on top of its pattern right here. Remember, this is a monthly candlestick there. And then Altius already broke out. This guy's running. It's going cheetah style. Would I go chase it up here? I don't know. I mean, I don't like buying stuff that's already broken out. I like buying it like right before it breaks out. So I would be looking for ones that are before the breakout. But that's what I've got for today, guys. We might have a little bit of a pullback, even though gold and silver look quite strong. The mining companies look a little bit weak. I don't know if that's the beginning of a move lower in the mining companies and maybe gold and silver follows. Sometimes it's like that, sometimes not. Maybe gold and silver's taking the lead. They're going to move higher and drag all the mining companies with it. Because the mining companies are up against that resistance line in the ratio, the XAU to gold ratio. So what I would do is I wouldn't do anything. I would still be a buyer in a lot of these companies. That's what I would do. And then I would just hold on. I think that the market conditions are good. I think that we have inflation. I think we're going to have increasing interest rates, which we do have. That's all conditions for this to go higher over time. I don't get too worried about the short term. As long as the market conditions are ripe, as long as the big picture views are developing in a positive way, the short term stuff is just noise. That's all I look at. And then I hope for pullbacks in the short term so I can buy it. That's really what it is. If you guys like the analysis, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Check out my website. It's below. If you want to sign up for my website, you can do that. Platinum memberships. We are having a meeting this weekend, Saturday. We're going to go over whatever you guys want to go over. You can ask questions. If you guys don't have any questions, I can go over some stuff that I think is very valuable. Thanks for listening, guys. See you next time. This is Finding Value.